Hey there, it's Chris Cashman. Caught me doing a little bit of shopping here on the waterfront. One of my favorite places, everything from a pack of gum to a sawfish rostrum. That's what you call it. Let's make it a teachable moment. We've got a lot of oddities to get into tonight on Evening.
Look back at the iconic Seattle band Soundgarden with founding guitarist Kim Thayil.
2, 3, there we go.
And see what it's like out on the water, racing in the Seattle Dragon Boat Festival. Plus, where you can find a taste of London in Bellingham.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome officially to Pier 54, home to Seattle's Ye Olde Curiosity Shop. The whole gang is here. In fact, they've been doing this for more than 12 decades, 6th generation waiting for you behind the register. And yes, they've got some oddities allegedly real, some replicas, but make sure you look up because it's all fascinating.
Well, if I was trying to explain to somebody who's never been here, I would tell people that it's a museum of sorts, but we are like part natural history museum, part like Seattle history museum, and we have real mummies and shrunken heads, and a Fiji mermaid, and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Since 1899, Seattle's Ye Olde Curiosity Shop is hard to miss, and yet hard to explain.
Guess that's what I'll look like when I'm dead and gone, huh?
My great-great-grandfather started the store in 1899, and ever since he was a kid, he had a fascination with natural oddities, like rare shells and stuff like that. So he's just been collecting things ever since he was a kid.
Neil and the family aren't just preserving artifacts.
A world record-sized gooey duck in a glass jar up on the ledge up there.
They're preserving tradition that's been passed from one generation to the next for more than a century.
The mammoth tusk up on the ledge up here.
Every shelf, corner, and ceiling beam seems to hold a story.
For example, we've got like several real mummies. Sylvester, the one that we're most well known for, he's been studied at the Smithsonian.
5 generations built this place, and the 6th generation is now behind the register.
Yeah, well, I love working with my family. You know, my brother and my wife and my daughter are all here today, and my dad still works here, and you know, it's just, for me, I wouldn't want it any other way than working with my family. I love it that way.
It is so great she is still here. Ye Olde Curiosity Shop, now in her 6th generation, open 7 days a week, 10 to 9 p.m. Come get a fun oddity, even a musical instrument. Could probably use a tune. Speaking of which, we're going to celebrate the music of Soundgarden today. Founding guitarist Kim Thayil has written a memoir talking about the rise of one of Seattle's most influential bands. Here's Saints.
Black hole sun, won't you come?
Let's start right in the middle. The first time Chris played you the demo for Black Hole Sun, you thought?
I immediately thought it was an amazing song, amazingly, penned and arranged. I wasn't sure that it was appropriate for the band at that time.
That's because up until then, Soundgarden had been built for sweaty clubs, packed rooms, loud amplifiers, and live chaos. Chris Cornell's song was different.
And this was very much a studio composition.
A studio composition that helped propel Super Unknown to the top of the Billboard album chart the week it debuted, turning 4 Seattle musicians into global rock stars almost overnight.
For all of us who have had dreams of rock stardom, having that #1 album, what's it really like?
Well, if you read the book, you might get a less smiley version of it.
That book is A Screaming Life, a memoir about music, friendship, and the Seattle scene that changed rock forever. Soundgarden formed back in 1984, and the first time Kim, bassist Hiro Yamamoto, and Chris, who also drummed, played together was something.
It was unbelievable. It surprised all of us. It just immediately clicked. We were very creative with each other and engaged with each other, both musically, but also in terms of songwriting. And it was a surprise.
Drummer Matt Cameron soon joined a band that sounded and looked like no other.
I'm a son of immigrants. Hiro's a son of immigrants.
Kim's parents came from India, emphasized education, and watched as their talented son discovered the kind of music that would change his life.
Like the Ramones or My Generation.
He wound up in Seattle at the perfect time. Despite the mythology that's grown around the grunge era, Kim says people often forget something essential: the joy.
We wouldn't have been doing this had it not been fun. We weren't compelled to give voice to our demons or anything like that. And there was a lot of mutual support. It was more collaborative and cooperative than it was competitive.
Chris is gone, but the legacy of Soundgarden grows. The band, which sold 30 million albums, was recently inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame. And now comes a book that takes us inside this tight-knit band of brothers.
There's always a little bit of conflict and friction, but then there's this great creativity that comes out of it. And the overall picture I have is one of just pride, fondness, and love for the people that I partnered with for all these years. And I think it's mutual. I think they all see things that way.
Thank you. St. Eliot Bay Book Company is going to be hosting a conversation between Kim and Nirvana bassist Chris Novoselic tomorrow night, and your ticket includes a pre-signed copy of Kim's book. And Saturday, June 13th, there's a meet and greet with Kim at 7 p.m. at Easy Street Records. To attend, you just got to purchase a copy of the book. Go online for more details. Meanwhile, the Seattle Dragon Boat Festival is happening on Lake Washington this weekend. Jose caught up with the Flying Dragon Boat Club as they prepare for the big race.
Today we are doing one of our last practices before the Seattle Dragon Boat Festival. We've got a big group of folks who are getting excited about the race.
6 is gonna be Elisa and Kalyani.
Lake Union is the home of the Seattle Flying Dragons. We have about 150 members. It's entirely run by volunteers. For the festival, we're gonna have races all day long. Basically a very long, large canoe, 10 benches, 2 people per bench, so 20 paddlers all together. There's a drummer on the front and a steersperson on the back. When you're in those boats, you're super close together and you can hear the paddlers next to you.
1, 2, 3, there we go.
Everyone has to paddle at exactly the same time, and that's really hard to do with 20 people who have competitive spirit. The drummer is supposed to represent the drum beat of the dragon. This tradition goes all the way back to ancient China. Some will consider it the oldest team sport in the world. It really is a testament. Everyone should come out and try it at least once.
That was tough.
Yeah, first race. Congratulations, you survived.
I survived.
You survived.
Thank you, Jose. The Seattle Dragon Boat Festival is this Saturday, June 13th at South Lake Union Park. Attendance is free. Still to come on the show.
Experience a taste of London at this new Bellingham dessert shop.
What do you think of it?
Oh, it's amazing.
Plus, Seattle's lakefront hotspot for wine and bites.
It's definitely a vibe.
Now in our 40th season, Evening shares local stories that make our community shine. Evening is sponsored by Pemco Insurance. Pemco empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at pemco.com.
And welcome back to Evening from Pier 54, home to the Ye Olde Curiosity Shop. More than 12 decades. We love it. For our next story, we are heading for some British sweets up north, not too far north, not the 9.5-hour flight from SeaTac to London. No, just the short scenic drive to Bellingham, where you'll find a shop selling bubble waffles.
Step inside Love from London, and you're immediately met by a life-sized London guard, a red telephone box, and a mural of the city with a working clock on the Tower of London.
The clock is on London time.
There's also something else you'll notice. One of the most delicious smells known to mankind. Bubble waffles in production.
What do you think of it?
Oh, it's amazing.
The shop is inspired by a 6-week vacation Ryan Frydenberg and his son Theo took to Scotland and London, where they fell in love with bubble waffles, which first made a splash decades ago in Hong Kong.
We actually had it in Chinatown in London, and basically use a certain kind of griddle to be able to cook this bubble waffle. It's a little bit different batter, different texture.
And I thought this would be a great thing to share with Bellingham for people to enjoy.
Looks really good.
Executive chef Casey Shire, who came up with the recipes, says bubble waffles are just plain fun.
And you can just kind of eat a bite of ice cream and you eat a bubble at a time, and a bite in a bubble is what I like to say.
One of the top sellers is the Berry Brawley.
It's a vanilla-based bubble waffle, white raspberry chocolate ice cream. We put fresh raspberries, fresh strawberries in, and Oreo.
There's a drizzle of chocolate syrup, followed by a blizzard of powdered sugar.
It's my birthday weekend, and this is my special treat, even though I'm on a diet.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Another favorite is the British Bonfire.
It's kind of more of a campfire bubble waffle. We use vanilla ice cream, marshmallows, graham cracker, and an Aero chocolate bar. And we put that all together with some toppings, some sauces. People just seem to love it.
And this one's called the Brick Kit.
It's got a little bit of everything with chocolate, candy, Oreos, and this delicious looking cone.
There are 20 different kinds of British candies for sale, and 20 different kinds of traditional British beverages. The shop also offers thick milkshakes and vegan options.
Here we are.
A vacation that became inspiration for one of Bellingham's most visited sweet shops.
Love from London.
Yum. Love from London takes a bubble break on Tuesdays. Otherwise, they are open and ready to serve you. For our next story, we're heading to South Lake Union, where there is a popular wine bar about to turn 1 year old. Is this a good gift for a 1 year old wine bar?
We are at the Cove, located at the Lake Union Piers. Beautiful location right here on the water. As you can see, it is welcoming, it's inviting. We want it to be a space that people will coming back to time and again, where they want to sit with their friends and just relax and feel like they're at home. We're a group of friendly folks that love wine, and we want to share it with everyone that comes here. We are featuring Pacific Northwest wines. So let's start you off with our Montenor Chardonnay. So this is our 2017 Brut Cuvée.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll do the La Sirène Syrah. This is from Betts out of Yakima Valley.
Smells good. Hey, they taught me something today. Let's see if I got it.
Can hold it and do it as well, whatever works.
Oh, wow, you're going to the next level. Let me try that. Mine is like all like shaky, and hers is like perfect. And it's not just about drinks. You guys have snacks and food as well, right?
We do. Charcuterie boards, flatbreads, our burrata toast is very popular, and a variety of salads.
Can you tell me a little bit about the vibe of this place?
I mean, it's definitely a vibe. That is the #1 word that we hear when people walk in, is that it is vibey. Cheers.
Cheers.
The Cove is open every day of the week, and believe it or not, it will be hot and sunny soon enough, and they have a great deck. Up next.
The Seattle Micro Perfumery, making scents that evoke classic books.
Somewhere in there, there's that alchemy, that magic, and then you're just like, yes, this is the one.
Follow King 5 Evening on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for exclusive broadcasts, extras, and giveaways. It's your direct line to Team Evening and the best of the Pacific Northwest.
Welcome back to Evening from Pier 54 and the Ye Old Curiosity Shop. Swing by, say hi to Sylvester. Speaking of curiosities, I got to tell you about Immortal Perfumes. It's fun to get lost in a book. You can almost see the landscape. You can smell the surroundings. Well, now you really can. How'd you like to smell like one of your favorite book characters? Kelly Hansen from New Day Northwest visited a local perfumery that can make it happen.
This is what I do all day.
Jen Seam's work is solitary, but she's never really alone. She's surrounded by people from the past.
My company is called Immortal Perfumes, and I specialize in literary and historical fragrances. I like to think about, what would Marie Antoinette have worn? What would the characters from The Great Gatsby wear? Yes, in case you couldn't tell, I was an English major.
She coupled her love of literature with a lifelong affinity for fragrance.
My mom wore the original Poison by Dior, and I remember I used to sneak into her bathroom so that I could spritz it on myself. And I mean, that wasn't very sneaky because Poison was a loud perfume. And then one day I just thought, hey, maybe I'll try making some myself.
Bibliophiles are glad she did. Jen's created scents inspired by Hemingway and Mary Shelley, F. Scott Fitzgerald and his wife Zelda. This horror novel inspired one of her best sellers.
She is based on a vampire that predates Dracula by 30 years.
There's also a line called Literary Lovers, meant to be worn together, like Emily Bronte's Tragic Pair. And her most famous perfume has the most memorable name.
Dead writers smells like old books.
Jen spends weeks of experimentation to find the right blend of ingredients.
You have to just kind of go on the journey. You have to add things, you have to take them out, and then somewhere in there's that alchemy, that magic, and then you're just like, yes, this is the one.
The internet loves her selection, and it also loves Jen because of her own story, one she decided to share after being diagnosed with breast cancer.
I was 35 when I was diagnosed, and so it was really important to me to be honest with them. Working through cancer treatment helped me so much. I had no idea the opportunities that I would have, and now that I do have a platform, the idea that I get to help people, if I can help even one person, then that makes all of it worth it for me.
She's now cancer-free, and with every bottle she ships, Jen shares her gratitude.
On old book paper, I like to write thank you.
One day she hopes to write her own book too. For now, Immortal Perfumes pays tribute to the classics, worth reading and wearing.
Exactly, yeah. Choose your own adventure.
Thank you, Kelly. You can peruse and shop the entire library collection of Immortal Perfumes online.
When evening returns, a Seattle entrepreneur makes herself doggone useful.
These guys are just my friends.
Welcome back to Evening from Pier 54, home to Ye Old Curiosity Shop. Come pay a visit. Our next story, by the way, comes from one of my favorite sources, you, a viewer. Jose spent the day with a Ballard-based dog walker, and it turns out she started her business as a way to spend more time with her kids.
Hey, my friends, let's go. I am Autumn Hale. I'm owner of Positive Dog Adventures. Come on. I can't remember a day that I haven't had a dog in my life. Let's go, my friends. Every day I pick these guys up. Then we go either to a backyard and play for 2 hours, or we do a social walk setting like this. Every dog has a different personality. I do my best to provide for them. Whose leash is anchoring this time? I think I have a special connection. I can't really explain what that is.
The first thing I noticed that you have to have a lot of patience.
Because it's not that simple to keep a big group of lovely four-legged friends entertained for hours.
How many dogs do we have today?
We actually have 12 today. I kind of overbooked myself.
With this amount of dogs, I was having a hard time just remembering their names.
Penny, Frankie, Fozzie.
Good thing that someone is keeping track.
It's definitely a workout.
Ready for your pictures?
Oh yes, I forgot to mention that this afternoon power walk comes with a photo shoot. And for that, we're going to need some tools.
So this squeaker is specifically a distraction. There we go, guys. Good job. I take pictures to update the families. They can see that their dog is having fun. I do have a unique job. I started this business in 2011, and most of my friends told me that I'm never gonna make it.
A business that she started as a single mom.
Part of the decision was spending more time with my kids because my son was sick all the time growing up. I started walking dogs so that he can be with me. Then when my daughter came along, she was in my little backpack walking dogs with me.
What started as compassion and care for dogs became a business that brings joy.
Dogs are therapeutic, they're gentle, they have kind souls. These guys are just my friends.
Thank you, Jose. Hard to beat puppy time. Learn more about Positive Dog Adventures online. And ready or not, we are getting prepared for some big changes on evening. As you know, we've been traveling the Northwest, sharing stories that make Western Washington extraordinary for 40 years. And so it's time for a rebrand. Here's a little hint. You recognize this video of our evening plane Maggie? She's still around. There's some nostalgia. Think about it. We'll share more clues this week. Speculation, by the way, is welcome. Go over to our social media. Tell us what you think is happening. And truly thank you for keeping one of the longest running local television shows in America on the air. Thanks to the Ye Old Curiosity Shop for hosting us.
And we'll close you out with a single from Stetson Heatseeker, one of the bands you'll see on Band in Seattle, Saturdays on Kong and Sundays right here on King 5.
That's a minimum wage. That's a minimum wage. just a minute.